for that. Our project is actually also Aquaponics with the help. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. With the help of the Tech Museum. As they said before, aquaponics is a closed ecosystem. Fish, plants, and germs that produce a nitrogen cycle. Basically, they save 80% of the water for traditional farming. My dad used to say, learning in the youth is like engraving a stone. So we believe that it's a great opportunity collaborating with the Tech Museum to teach kids since they're youth how you can actually create small enclosed ecosystems to save water and basically have maybe a closed ecosystem in your house. Our project will be collaborating IoT, and we're going to try to monitor a lot of what's going on inside the aquaponic that we have. We're going to monitor all the maybe nitrates, oxygen levels, the temperature, and display it on a small UI for the kids on the app. And for the technicality,
So for our design process is basically broken down into 3 parts. So we have our technical design, our user interface design, and our physical design. For our IoT technical design, so we have the sensors, we have the data connectivity to send the data to the cloud, we have data processing, and we have data analytics and data graphing. So basically this is our connection network. So what it basically looks like right now. So we have our sensors. Some of the sensors that we are incorporating in our system include water temperature, pH levels, ammonia levels, and we're trying to incorporate also some type of nutrient levels to monitor, for example, phosphorus and other things that are included in this gardening cycle. And then as for the data connectivity, so we're basically collecting data from the sensors and we're sending it over to the cloud. We're doing this through a web server called Lucy. So then that data that is being collected on the cloud is being processed and basically initiates a relay to fix any issues that are within the system. So for example, if the water temperature on the tank is too low, the system should auto-fix itself. So for example, it will turn on a relay to have initiate that water heater. Or for example, every certain amount of minutes, so for example, every 20 minutes, it should initiate the water pump to flow through the system. As for our data analytics, we have, basically we're using a tool called Grafana to put this data that we're collecting into a visual form. So we want the staff that is using this data to be able to analyze if anything ever goes wrong with the system. For example, fish are dying or plants aren't growing. You should be able to analyze this data and take a look at it and be able to figure out what possibly went wrong in the system and what could be affecting the system and how they could potentially fix it. It also will display additional information that can be shown for future visitors. So basically our next part is how we're going to incorporate this into our user interface.
Since the whole system is in the Tech Museum, we decided to create a user interface for the visitors to interact with the whole system. The user interface will have a description for the fish and the plants. It will also integrate the data for the whole system on the levels of the ammonia, pH levels, and also the temperature of the tank. We will be using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to create the progressive web app. And progressive web app is faster compared to the web server base.
And lastly, for our physical design, we have designed a base that is built with redwood 2x4s and is built to withstand 4 times the amount of filled 90-gallon tank. We have 2 grow shelves that are supported by 80/20 aluminum. 80/20 aluminum framing, And the two grow beds basically are plants that we use for interactive activities inside the design studio at the Tech Museum. So the community can come in and do actual hands-on projects with something that came from the Aquaponics system. And that is our Smart Tech Aquaponics.
Yeah, so that's an overall of what our project looks like. If you have any more interest in our project, we do have a blog where we update lately every week. So you can look at scan our QR code and you can follow our blog weekly. We also are currently monitoring live data. Right now we're having technical difficulties, so it's not really working, but we should get that up and running as soon as possible. So you can also scan that QR code and keep it safe for future references. Thank you.